Your outer world reflects your inner world, whether you realize it or not. So today we're talking about that energy leads and the physical follows. Now, this is something that if you follow me at all, you already know that we've talked about, because key number 10 from the Empowered Communication series is that thought patterns shape reality. And essentially what you focus on, you make room for. Okay. And so what happens is your spiritual alignment, your vibration, the way that your thoughts are going to then be represented in your physical reality. And as I talked about in the first one in this series that was talking about creation, that is because the inward focus of spirit is how creation manifests. And when I say creation, I mean the physical reality, which I put in finger quotes, because again, it's real in the sense that we are all experiencing this matrix together. And so what makes this particularly interesting is that, essentially your reality reveals your alignment. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and, I love a good diagram, and I have lots of diagrams around these various topics that I will be popping up top, throughout this whole series. But for this one, I really think that this is helpful because it makes you realize that your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, that all of those things coalesce to show what your true internal alignment is. And a topic for a different series is basically learning to take that as information rather than being upset by it. So don't be upset if you're triggered by something. Take it, see it with curiosity and not judgment. Take it as the information, the data point that it is, and then make adjustments accordingly, right? So as we are able to look at things from that lens of curiosity rather than judgment, we are in a place to be able to make the adjustments so that we can see the physical follow in a way that is more preferential to what we would like, right? So if I am seeing things happening in my physical world that are not my preference, all that means is I need to adjust things in the spiritual realm. What thoughts do I have to adjust? What shadow work do I need to do? Like, where is the adjustment that needs to happen? And so that is part of why I'm going to be talking about the 9 levels of consciousness, because understanding kind of the framework behind how we work gives you an idea for how you can sort of chase those things back so that you can address them and do the shadow work that's needed so that you can see the changes that you do want in your life. So again, understanding that the spirit leads and the physical follows is really important, because otherwise you keep trying to change things in the physical realm. You're doing something and you're striving and you're working from force. And again, this comes back to even the elevated thought model, because again, this is power versus force, which again is one of the empowered communications. I think that's number 2, key number 2. I don't have there it is. I do have my list there. It's key number 2 is power versus force. And it's remembering that when you are in that expanded love-based state, you are operating from a place of power or authority. But when you are moving in the constricted state, that is force, that's where you're striving. And the problem with that is you waste your energy. It's not that you can't accomplish anything by striving. It's just that it takes a lot more energy to do it than if you're flowing in your passion. If you're flowing in your passion, you can sit down and do something for 12 hours straight and not even notice because you're so jazzed up by what you're doing. But if you hate what you're doing, but you're going to gut it out because you want to be able to have this success, you're still going to get the success, but it's going to cost you a lot more emotionally to do it. And so this is where being intentional with having the spirit lead so that the physical can follow comes in. So important. It's just so important. So hopefully that blesses somebody today, and I look forward to continuing telling you guys about this.